Hey guys, my name is Francisco Hernandez, and today's video is a quick video showing you how to get fall colors in both Photoshop and in Lightroom separately. I know that some people out there don't really tend to go into Photoshop, they stick to Lightroom, so that's exactly why I wanted to make this video, to show you how to get those fall colors in both of those programs separately. Before I continue though, I do want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Adorama, and depending on when you're seeing this video, there are a lot of deals that are happening right now, so I'll leave a link to all those deals happening in the description area below. Adorama is an industry-leading retailer that has been serving photography, videography, and audio customers for almost 50 years now. Their motto is everyone is a creator, and they do their best to unleash that creator within us all by providing us with the tools and expertise necessary to get the job done. I personally shop at Adorama for both the great deals and products I use and recommend, but also the great customer service on those products as well. If you find yourself interested in anything that I talk about in today's video, check the links that will be in the description area below, and be sure to use those links if you decide to order. So on the screen right here is the photo that we're going to be working with, and I do want to mention that I did make some adjustments in terms of exposure with this photo, so that's something I just wanted to mention for clarity, but I didn't adjust the colors too crazy. I did amplify the colors, the saturation of the colors, by going to the bottom of the calibration section. The blue primary saturation slider, I did bring it up to 60, and this always increases the saturation throughout the photo pretty nicely, but it does get the oranges and blues a little too strong. So I did reduce the saturation of the oranges to just make her look normal. But I wanted to mention that because that is adjusting the colors, but not necessarily the fall colors, which I am going to explain now. When it comes to adjusting the colors to be a little bit more fall, then all you need to do is go to the hue section, and you're going to change the yellows and the greens. And I'm going to start with the greens because I feel like that does a better job at really getting those fall colors. All I'm going to do is click this slider to be on the left side, and at -100 you can see that it gave me those fall colors. If you're curious about what it does on the opposite side, then it's just going to make the colors a little bit more minty, which I don't want for fall colors. So I'm going to stick to -100, and then I'm also going to change the yellow hue, the hue of the yellow slider, and see what that can do. So I'm going to go to the right, and it gives me a little bit more greenish looking yellows, and I'm gonna go to the left, and it gives me a little bit more orange, burnt orange. So depending on what you guys prefer, then you can change the amount of that slider, the yellow slider. So if you feel like something like here in the middle, like -50, if you feel like that's a little bit more fall color, then you can keep to -50, or if you feel like -100 is better, then do whatever you want. Keep it to exactly what you want for the fall colors that you think fit your photo. Another thing that you can do is change the saturation and the luminance of those colors. So I'm going to change the saturation first. I'm going to go from left to right, and in the saturation section, then you can change the slider of the yellow. You can be a little bit more saturated in terms of those yellows, and at this case I'm at +85, and I think it actually looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit too strong, so I'll go to maybe +50. For the greens, that's what I'm going to work on next. I'm going to change it to be a little bit like +40. I don't want it to be too saturated, and then it looks pretty good to me here. And now the last step is just changing the luminance, which is going to be the brightness or darkness of that color. And in this case, it's going to be the greens and the yellows again. So let me click on luminance, and I'm going to see how it looks like with a little bit brighter yellows. And I think at maybe +25, it looks pretty good. The greens, again, maybe at +20. I think I can show you the before and after. So here's the before, and here's the after. Here's the before, and here's the after. And this is just Lightroom so far. And that's all you need to do is change the hue and the saturation and the luminance of that color, the greens and the yellows, and it really gives you those fall colors. Now that we're here in Photoshop, I can show you how to get the fall colors here, and it's very simple. All you need to get is an adjustment layer. That's going to be specifically a selective color adjustment layer, and you can do that by going to the circle here on the bottom and clicking selective color, or you can go to the top here where it says layer and go to new adjustment layer, click selective color here. You can do the same thing 2 different ways. I actually click on the bottom over here because I just find it easier for some reason, and I'm gonna click on that, and now you can see that there are going to be reds, and there's going to be all these other different colors, and it's essentially going to be the same thing as Lightroom. You're going to change the yellows and the greens, so I'll show you that right now. With Photoshop, you do have a little bit more flexibility because you have all these different sliders, and you can see that it does kind of be a little bit more precise in terms of the colors, which is why I tend to use Lightroom and Photoshop, but I'll show you guys how I get the fall colors with just Photoshop. When it comes to the first slider, which is cyan, I usually go to the left, and you can see that it is getting those nice colors in the background there. If you go the opposite direction, again, you get that mintier kind of natural greens, and that's something that we don't want for this video. We want to go for the fall colors, which are going to be on the left side. I'll go to -80. For the magenta, it's going to be the exact opposite direction, not the left side, but the right side. So I'll go to, I actually like it at +40, so I'm going to keep it there. And then the yellow, again, you're going to go left, and you can see that it doesn't look so good. So you go to the right, and I'm gonna go just a tiny bit to like +10. I think I'll stick to that. You don't want to adjust the blacks because that just changes the luminance, just like the luminance slider in Lightroom. So I'm gonna keep it to 0. And in the green section, again, you're gonna go a little bit to the left side in the cyan sliders. So I'm gonna show you guys to the right how it looks like, and then how it looks to the left. I'll probably go to maybe -60 and keep it there. Magenta, you're gonna go the opposite direction. You're gonna go to the right. You're gonna go to maybe +40. And then the yellows, I'm gonna keep it to the right a little bit, just a tad bit, to maybe +20. And again, we're not gonna adjust the black slider. So I'll show you guys the before and after. So this is the before and this is the after. If for some reason you feel like you were a little too heavy-handed and you went a little too far with those fall colors, you can always just go to the layer right here and then change the opacity to be a little bit lower, depending on how you want it to be. Let's say you thought it was too extreme when you went to 100% and you want to drop it down 20% to be at 80%. Well, you can do that with that opacity slider right there. And that's pretty much it for this video. That's how you get the fall colors in your photos with Lightroom and Photoshop separately. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. And I want to say one last thanks to Adorama for sponsoring this video, because when they do that, it allows me to keep making free content for you guys. So definitely check them out. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the very next video.